Hello and welcome everybody. We have the Global Lab patch notes for August 14th. This is a really massive one. It is the Edania update. So let's get straight into it. So we have the Edania Gateway to Edania coming up with the Edania main quest with some lovely visuals again. You will need to possess the title Gladius Champion, which is the same thing for the Edania pre-quest, and that is available after the same quest back to the Society of Equilibrium. Outside of the Society of Equilibrium, the Black Spirit main quest, and then you end of the wait. If you already have the title, Gladius' Champion, after completing Ataraxian Return to the Academy within the family, you can start the main quest. There is an adventure journal connected to this. So we have the new adventure journal consists of 7 stories, and the middle of the story, adventurers choose the story they want to proceed with. When you select a story, you will progress through in the adventure journal and will be guided to the starting point of that story. To ensure a natural progression, are currently working on. They want you to work on one quest, and you cannot select another until it's completed. So we have the Hakinja Temple Etherion sequential progress. Then it goes into a choice of Orba, Nymphomare, or Tenebraum, and then it goes back to Sepphoris Edania. Effectively saying after completing the Hakinja Temple and the Etherian story, you can choose to accept and proceed with one of the 3 quests. However, during the maintenance of August 20th coming up, only the stories of Hakinja Temple, Etherian, Orbita, and Nymphare will be updated. The stories for Tenebraum, Sepphoris, and Edania will be updated during the regular maintenance on September 10th. That is the slight split that we have. So effectively, we can do Hakinja Temple and then Orbita or Nymphomare, but we won't be able to do Tenebraum or Sepphoris. The Adventure Journal bookshelf will be integrated into the Adventure Journal, Adventure Journal. Then we have the Edania. The 4 stories below are prepared for the first adventure outside. So we have the Hakinja Temple, may be resurrected in the sandstorm. The sergeants who guarded the gates of Airily continue their lonely fight. Does the Black Star of Salvation have been waiting for exist? That is probably a mistranslation. And let us open the gates of Edania and advance towards the source of secrets. Then we have the Etherion, Orbita, and Nymphomare as well. This is pretty much the Belmorn. I think that's the Enslar and the Mermaid Rosalka. So regions where an adventure journal has not been updated, the content will be added during the regular maintenance on August 21st. Please note that the Edania territory, which requires high AP and DP, is updated and the adventure journals will be added to the regions that have not yet reached their 10th anniversary to provide the same play experience across regions. Then we also have rare Edana legacies found throughout Edania. So as you explore the region, you will also discover Edana's legacy, and as you complete these, you will get special rewards. Passing the trials to obtain Edana's legacy will reward you with primal fragments and gold ingots. So effectively, we clearly have similar question mark quests that they've introduced with Land of the Morning Light, Part 2, and also the Orzekia dungeon. Then we have an abyssal well in Edania. This will be available if you have the knowledge Edania Hakinja Temple, and once you have this knowledge, you can get this in the Magnus itself. Then we have defeating the leader for the Edania, which is the boss subjugation, the thing that a lot of people are looking forward to. So we have, first off, you need to go through the Seat of Power NPC in each Edania castle. The conditions for entering the subjugation is you accept the weekly quest to subdue the leaders of each castle, and the bosses of each difficulty level you must meet stat requirements to proceed the challenge. So here we have AP of 350 and 427 DP for Belmorn or Jordine. Then we have Nymphomare Castle, which is the Rosalka, 375 and 440. And then finally we have Orbita Castle with the Enslar with 385 and 445 DP. The important thing to note, this is very important, you can enter when you are wearing equipment, which is weapons, armor, and accessories with an item grade of red or higher. This is excluding relics and alchemy stones. So the big cheese that most people have been coming up with of using pearl items, which actually we'll see later on as well, Like using the 1 DP Pearl Armors will not work. Also, Capotias will not work. You will need to have the red gear, which is full Kharazad. Effectively, full Kharazad with Sovereign or Black Star. I think with Black Star, you're probably not going to be able to reach the 350. Distos won't work. Do make note of this. However, I'll be pushing out a little short as well. The big thing that will work is the Perilla Alchemy Stone or the Khan Heart of defense. Those, if you upgrade them, will give you +1 DP more than the Vel, and that should be allow you to get the 427 DP for Jordan to at least be able to participate in that. But yeah, like I said, there will be another short coming out about that. Then we have the weekly quest being added. You can only challenge one Saint Edana each week, and you can only accept to complete one of the weekly quests. After you complete it, you can enter the challenge space free from the disturbance of other adventurers. And each Edania challenge token obtained as a weekly completion reward can only be used during the Edana application period of the same acquisition. So here we have the Edana's Challenge of Proof, Edania's Heaven's Curse as a reward. Then we have if you open the cube, you get the Edana's Fragments, guaranteed. 40 Primal Fragments, 30 Essence of Khaphras, which I think those are the Khaphras sap, but I'm not sure. We'll see that later on again. A lot of these items will also repeat later on. And we also have the Perfume of Longing, Perfume of Perseverance, 1 kg gold bar, and 5 100g. Then we also have a probability for getting a Jewel of the Beginning, at least for Jordan. If we go to the next highest, we have a different box with 2 pieces of Edana and crystallized auras of the end. Probably mistranslations. Some of these will vary. Again, for the essences of Khaphras, some more perfumes, more gold bars, including a gold box. Then we also have the Silent Primordial Decision Crystal and the Distorted Primordial Crystal fragment. Then the Orbita, similar thing, 3 pieces of Edana. Then also, again, the Challenge Proof, Silent Primordial Decision. Effectively, the Primal Fragment, the main loot from the boxes, can be sold for 30,000 silver through the NPC shop. That is mentioned up there. But we'll get to that after the Edana's Throne again. On the Path of the Throne, only one adventurer can bear the name Edana. This is a new PvP content that is being connected to this. So when you defeat the leaders of each region, you'll be granted the right to become an Edana. The selected Edana will be challenged by other adventurers every Sunday, and a new Edana will be determined through a showdown with the challenger adventurer. So here we have the adventurers who are ultimately selected ascend to the throne will be granted privileges and rewards. The challenge period is from Thursday midnight to Sunday 7 p.m. This should be standard across the board. This might vary per region a little bit, but should be around that time mark. So you effectively use the Edana's challenge mark obtained to subdue the leaders of each region. So we have the Heavens, well, all 3 regions. You will participate in the competition with the character that has used the Edana's challenge proof item. Cancellation is not possible, so please be careful when applying. The weekly boss subjugations are reset every Thursday, and you can only accept 1 weekly quest. Additionally, if you have applied for the Challenge of the Throne of Edania Castle each week, you cannot apply to another castle. The proof is a family-bound item and is consumed when used. There's only a 3-hour validity, so you need to be sure you want to apply for this. After applying, you can update the attack and defense value displayed in the Edana's Throne Participation UI with the character you applied for up to 10 until the 10 challengers are selected on Sunday. After applying for example, you have an AP of 355, DP of 430, you get some upgrades, you can renew this to 360 and 435. Edanas cannot apply to challengers to castles in other regions, so you do need to be applying to the castle that you have. Then the selection process among the adventurers who use the challenge mark in each region, so EU and A respectively. Adventurers with the highest combined AP and DP up to 7 will be selected. If the total attack power or the same priority will be given to those with higher level or experience on the character. And then there will be 3 random adventurers from each region who use the token as well. The selection will happen, like mentioned, on Sunday, 7 p.m. You can get the directions through this UI. 10-person challenger match duration will run from 10 past 8 to 20 past 8, so very short time. Entry is possible 5 minutes before the match starts. You can enter 5 minutes before start, that was already mentioned. Only characters using the proof can enter. You must meet the minimum attack and defense requirement for the castle. This is a single elimination free-for-all match between all 10 fighters. This will last up to 10 minutes. Challengers who do not enter before the time will be marked as defeated. If there are 2 or more challengers remaining at the end, the one with the highest HP will win. And after that, it will be the player with the higher AP DP, and then also the player with the higher level and experience if all of those things match. During the duel, a black curtain is activated, and that will reduce the area, so overall, if you're outside of the circle will go smaller, and it will also do damage if you're outside of that. Then we have the final challenger versus the Edana Showdown. This is Sunday at 20:30 then. This is entry 5 minutes before the match. So you enter the final challenger versus the Edana Showdown, so you interact with the NPC. You get also the third choice via the UI. Only characters with the Edana Challenge token item can enter and must again meet the requirements. The final challenger will face off in a best of 3 format. Also, the final challenger will face off at a designated location. And if a winner is not determined, victory and defeat is determined by the remaining life, and again by the highest APDP or the highest level and experience again. And if there is no final challenger, Edana will be automatically reappointed, and if there is no existing Edana, the last challenger and adventurer will be selected. Then we have an expansion on the progress notes. So during the duel, adventurers will proceed with the equipment they're currently wearing. The match time is fixed to a daytime. There are no death penalties present. During the duel, all other participants' names will be changed to Challenger, and chatting will be disabled. When entering the battle arena, the character skill cooldowns are also reset. Also, Black Spirit's Rage and Emergency Evasion are reset. After entering the match venue, you can also not leave the designated location until the match begins. The Blackstone items, the high purity ones, will not be able to be used, and also the buff will be removed if you enter with it. During a duel, equipment changes and modification preset changes are not possible, and also, I'm pretty sure this is the Tamer. The Tamer will not be able to ride the mount. If you disconnect during a match, you will automatically be considered defeated. If you reconnect before the Edana selection match, you can still proceed with it. However, if a duel round begins without you entering, you will automatically lose. If all remaining players die at the same time during the duel, the winner defeat will be determined in the following order: Challenger with the higher APDP, level of the character in the duel, and Challenger with higher experience. Here we also see more of the progress, so effectively the 10 final candidates will wait at the designated location till 10 past 8. You will have a little circle. When the Edana Throne begins, the family names of the final candidates who participate will be displayed as challengers, and participants can participate through the UI at the top. You can check the class, level, and remaining time of the participating players. Then you also see in the duel, the final candidate, the family names will be changed to challengers. And at 10 past 10, the start will happen after a countdown. It will be conducted in a free-for-all format for up to 10 minutes. And if you die during this, you will be eliminated, and you can then choose spectator mode or exit, and then you will go back to where you entered. And once all participants are killed, you will qualify to be the final challenger to challenge the Edana. Afterwards, the final candidates will wait at the designated location until 8:30. Same as the previous match, you cannot leave the marked circle before the match starts. You can check the remaining time and the number of rounds on the UI at the top. And when you win or lose a round, the UI will inform you of the results. The perks and rewards. So there's no decrease in tendency, so Edana's alignment will not decrease, so no karma loss when she activates Force Attack within her territory, and then forces attack on another adventurer. However, adventurers who are attacked by Edana can counterattack. In the case of the Edana guild unit, party members cannot force attacks. Increased chance of obtaining hunting grounds, so Edana's blessing buff. So the Edana can activate a blessing, which increases item acquisition by 100% for 1 hour up to 10 times per week. The buff UI is displayed at the top of the screen, and the buff is applied to all servers and can reach a maximum item acquisition probability of plus 500 when on an Arsha server or an Occupation Warlord buff. Instant resurrections. Edana suffer no death penalty upon a death within their territory and is instantly resurrected. And also, if the karma is lower than 0, there is no penalty within the Edana's territory as well. Accumulation tax compensation. When using the Hunting Ground secret room within the Edana's territory, a secret room entrance ticket is required, and purchasing this ticket costs silver. Taxes are accumulated as a percentage of the ticket price, and only the Edana can check the accumulated amount. When Edana is replaced, the accumulated taxes are automatically paid to the previous Edana's Black Spirit gift box, and the amount earned is sent to the mail. Even if the Edana succeeds in securing the throne, being reappointed, 1 week's worth of taxes will automatically be paid. Taxes are structured as a percentage of the base amount and the amount per secret room entrance ticket, and the tax amount may vary for each castle. Taxes in the areas without Edana do not accumulate, and if the Edana of that area enters the secret room, taxes will also not be accumulated. Then we have the Edana's Crown. Edana's Crown is a crown suitable for the conquered Edania castle, and is given as an item in the Hakinja Temple warehouse. It is limited to a 7-day item that can be worn on the helmet part of the costume. And when equipped with the Edana Crown, energy is not consumed when chatting on the server, and world chat is possible without using a shout ticket. And when chatting in world server in general, Edana will be displayed with a special emoticon displayed in a different color. There's also a removal of the server transfer timeout and instant move to castle function, so there is no server transfer time when moving servers within the Edana area, and you can move servers freely. Edana can immediately move to their castle, and however, this function cannot be used while holding trade goods in the bag. And finally, you can check the family name of the Edana that occupies each castle in the world map UI. Then we get to the hunting grounds. We have Jordine's Realm, or Blue Eve. The Blue Eve is a realm where root spirits steeped in darkness lurk. This will effectively have a AP of 350 and a final AP of 1565. The recommended DP 427 or 615. Effectively, these are spirits. Then we get multiple main loot. We have the Decision of Destruction, the Origin Dark Crystal of Destruction. We'll get to that in a bit as well. Fragments of the Beginning. Then we have Old Debos. Then we have a Piece of a Cold Soul being the trash loot at 105,640 silver with 0.3 LT. And there is 4 titles in total. Then we have the Rosalka's Realm, Nymphomare Castle. The Nymphomare Castle is guarded by Coral Nagas and Rosalka's servants. So as you defeat the Coral Nagas, the Eye of Rosalka will appear, monitoring the adventurers and increasing the pollution level in the surrounding area. Actually, was there any? Yeah, okay, so this is more of a tower spot. You hit the thing and they spawn. Similar thing, here you kill and then get a pollution effect. So effectively, the mobs here are 370, 1660, or 440, 720 TP. This is based on wearing the king's secondary weapons, so the sovereign offhand. Near the Nymphomare castles, the Coral Nagas live and follow the mermaid queen Rosalka. So originally they were protected and did not show hostile tendencies, but now they are obviously fighting. You watch over the Tower of Rosalka, which was built in the distant past to purify the sea to ensure it does not malfunction. Here we get more loot introduced, so we have Dark Crystal of Destruction, Decision of Destruction, Silent Primordial Fragment, then a Distorted Fragment, Silent Primordial Decision, and also a Distorted Primordial Crystal. Crystallized Ore of Doom, again the 4 Debos. The coral drops there are 116,200 silver, again at 0.3 with 4 titles. And then we have the Enslav's Realm, Orbitus Castle. So they added where Tomb Keepers guard the tombs of the Edanas. When you attack the Orbited Tomb of Light, daytime Tomb Keepers will appear and you must engage them using the Tombs of Faith placed around them. These are at 380 and 1770 and 450 and 760, again with the Sovereign Offhand expected. So there are stone monuments that seal the Valkyries who followed Enslar to Orbita. As time passes, the Valkyries grow clouded and faint, but the Tomb Keepers stand firm. Then we also have the True Crystal of Doom, True Destruction Crystal, Silent Primordial Fragment again, and Silent Primordial Decision, Crystallized Ore of Doom, and the 4 Debos. The trash loot here is 140,600 silver, again 0.3 LT, and again 4 titles connected with the troops. Then we go into the Edana's Armor. There is the 40-second video that we had, effectively showcasing the lovely armor with its visuals. It does look pretty good. We're going to go straight into it. So here we have the different sets with an Agris Essence starting of 2 on the base. That is very, very generous. We're going to go straight into how to make it. So you need to have the Edana's Armor Hidden Secret, Black Spirit quest, level 60 or higher, and Return quest completed. You will effectively need the Weeping Libresca, Armor of the Howling Dead, or the Howling Gloves, or Otora's Boots, again all at the tier 4, and then you need 1 piece of Edana. Here we did see that Jordine will give you a single piece of Edana, while Rizalka and Enslar will actually give you 2 or 3. That is a big thing to note. There's also the exchange through the pen version. Once you effectively have the pen version, you can directly exchange it to a Nov, instantly getting you the Nov to pen with 35 Agris Essence. Here we can see it. We're going to go straight, continue into the stats. So here we have the DP going up by 1 across the board until you go from Sept to Oct. There you will gain 2 DP. Then same thing from Oct to Nov and Nov to Deck. The evasion also goes up. The damage reduction is there. Then we also have the reduced monster damage going up and the maximum health increasing up to 750. Overall, this will definitely be quite a grind up, but the big note is we have the gloves and boots unifying the evasion and damage reduction stats. That is quite interesting for those that do not want to have both. The Edana's Armor Reinforcement needs 1 piece of Edana, 3 sharp black crystals, and 20 Kafra stones. That is the big thing. We were under the assumption it is 1 tap a week, but if you're going into the higher grind zones or the higher bosses and challenge the higher bosses, this means you can get up to 3 taps a week. Then here we can see the probability being on a 120 stack being quite high with 68.9. Then we have 150 stacks still being relatively high with 47.2. It only starts dropping off harshly at the Sept to Oct, where we're starting to hit the 6% mark. The number of crown stones are also somewhat reasonable. So here we see 890, 910, 940, 970, and then after pen it does a jump up to 1320, 1760, 2250, 2760, and 3280. The Essence of Agris is fairly forgiving in the beginning, but again it ramps up to 85 towards the top. They also have an added effect, so again the dark and intense atmosphere, an appearance that feels like the ancient spirit, will be applied. So we have these base to Tet being just standard red glow, then we have standard red glow and a breath effect, then a pen to Sept, stronger glow, stronger breath effect, more of a black aura, and then finally at Oct to Deck, large red glowing eyes, the breath effect remaining. Overall, actually no, the breath effect disappearing and just being very menacing. When you also craft all 4 pieces, you can then also proceed with a quest to obtain a set of clothing that has the same appearance. This can be done once per family. You go to the Edana's Armor, Hero of Destruction. The NPC is Ritavan Mountains, inside in the Ritavan Mountains, Well of Destruction, and you need to possess all 4 pieces of Edana Armor. Then we have a new upgrade for the Fallen Gods, the Ancient Armor Reinforcement Decrease. These are at the top, we saw them a few times. This is a really big thing. So we have to prevent the enhancement level of decreasing on the enhancement of the Ancient Great Armor Sails or the Fallen Gods. They've created Primetime Crystals. The distorted silent primordial crystal and the fragments can be traded through the exchange. The primordial crystal of desire cannot be exchanged, but can be sold to NPC vendors at 10 mil a pop. So effectively acting like a trash item. If you fail to strengthen through the ancient decision, the ancient anvil will accumulate still, so this will count towards the Agrus essence. The ancient grade armors are obviously the 4 armor pieces. Here we have the primal crystal of longing. The longing is used to get the distorted armor, so pride to duo. This you can get it from the Dekima tokens of the Dekima tokens of oath, and the thoughts of the black spirit, or I think dark fragments. Then we have the distorted primordial crystal. This is used to enhance from distorted to silent, so duo to try. This will require 50 distorted primordial fragments and 100 magic fragments. You can get this from drops in Nymphomara Castle and Orbita Castle. Then you finally have the silent primordial decision. This is used to upgrade from silent to howling, with 50 silent primordial fragments and 100 magic fragments. The interesting part about it is, one more thing. So we have the primal crystals you can desire can be exchanged. So here we have the proof of mortality at a 10 to 1. The Dekima proof of oath, which is the dungeon run, you have 5 to 1. And then the black spirit's thoughts is 15 to 1. This is a family exchange, and you can only do this 8 times as well. So do make note. However, if you do not have Pride to Duo, this won't be necessary for you. Effectively, you can just get these and sell them, but overall, I wouldn't worry too much about it. The lower limit on the distorted primordials, so duo to try, is 5 bill and 6 bill max. The silent, which is the try to tet, is 6.5 and 7.5 for the full crystal. This is 600 mil cheaper than the cron cost if you vendor cron them. So this will be very viable on trying to get your Fallen God armor up as a lower geared person. Even the duo to try is also cheaper than the cron cost. However, you will need to be ordering these off the players that can grind those really high-end spots. You can also buy the fragments. The fragments match up on the amount and the price to the amount needed. So if you need 50, pretty much this is a direct equivalent. If you buy 50 of these at the maxed price, you will also pay 7.5 mil. So there's no cheesing the money. Pretty much either buy the fragments or attempt to pre-order the full crystals. This will save you money in the long run, especially if you're going to hit that Agrus essence quite high, and you can invest your crons into other things instead of putting it into the Fallen God. The money is still necessary, but it is a little bit cheaper. We're going to shoot up real quick. So here we see the Silent Primordial Decision and the other one. We're just going to shoot up to the drops again. Right? Rhinestones are here. And we can actually see the crystal being here, the fragments, and then also the full crystal also as a drop. So these will be occasionally listed. We definitely will see that. Overall, this is great money for the people that can grind these locations. Except for, obviously, Jordine. There you only have the base one, which is the extra money. Oh, it went a bit far. Okay, now we're going to the Sovereign Secondary Weapon. We now have the reconfirmation. This is stuff we already knew. So effectively, you can craft it through 3 methods. So first, have a 10 Black Star Offhand with another 10 Black Star Offhand, and you will need the Twilight Jewel. The Twilight Jewel is obtained by heating 100 magic fragments and 20,000 Caphras. It is used for crafting the King's main weapon, Awakening and Secondary, and crafting 20,000 Caphras while heating it. Then we have method 2, which is a Pen Black Star, a Pen Kutum at Caphras level 20, and a Pen Nuver at Caphras level 20. You do not need anything extra. And then finally, we have the Pen Black Star version, which does require the Twilight Jewel as well, and the Primal Jewel. The Primal Jewel you get by getting the Jewel of Beginning or Primal Jewel, and you need 1,000 Primal Fragments. This is used to craft the King's secondary weapon, And again, we're going up towards the Primal Fragments. They are grindable in the Jordan. Where is it? Here it is, Primal Fragments, or Fragments of the Beginning. They can be grinded in this zone. You do need 1,000. They did say we will be able to get a lot of them from the quest. I think 100 they mentioned. That still seems to be the case. However, if you want to go for the other route, you do still need the 20,000 characters and 100 magic stones. But effectively, these 1,000 primal fragments will replace 1 pen black star. Crafting the Sovereign is the same way as all the others. You need to go to the Phoenix statue in Hassan in the Land of the Morning Light. You will then be able to go there. You need to have the Pen Black Star. It cannot be a Gotterite, same as with before. The secondary weapon is also enhanced with the Black Stones, same Black Stones, and the Hammers at the beginning will also be able to be used on it. Here we have the stats for the secondary weapon, effectively going base to deck here. Effectively, you get your +1 DP when you hit Sept. That is a big thing to note. Accuracy does go up a little bit across the board, AP obviously as well. Evasion does go up a little bit, same for damage reduction. Then we have the monster additional attack power rising slowly, and also the maximum HP. The enhancement probabilities are shown here. So we have Pry with 8.55 and a 60 stack. The added probability is 51.3 and final 59. So base with a 60 stack, you're looking at a 59. 35. Effectively, this is pretty much the same as the other Sovereign weapons. The number of Crown Stones and Agros Essence used are also the same as with the others. Then we're going into the Edania other items, which is a lot. So here we have the Leader's Crystal or Flawless Leader's Crystal. This will need the Leader's Decision, which was a boss event crystal. You will be able to collect those, get a Sharp Crystal Fragment, Magic Fragments, and Magic Lightstone Crystal. You can then improve a Kabua or Relic of Dekia, both the Evasion and DR. Effectively, you combine it with that. You will then, on the Kabua, gain a monster additional attack power +3, monster damage reduction +5, and another 250 HP. On the DR and Evasion artifacts, you get an all attack power +6 and a maximum HP of 250, which is quite interesting. The fact that they're giving that a bit more AP as well could be worthwhile for the PvP. You can exchange the Flawless Guide Crystal by purchasing, you can extract it by using the Mirror of Equilibrium from any blacksmith like we're used to. And here we can see the stats adding the 650 and more health on all three of them. Then we also have the Fire Lightstone of Distortion being added. This will be an additional attack power for the Edania race. Effectively, there will also be the typical race set, which is the 3 crystals of the same with a iridescent. Then we also have amplified lightstones that can be obtained by processing existing lightstones. We did see the crystallized auras of the end as drops in these zones. Effectively, you'll be able to heat these with magic fragments and magic lightstone crystals, and effectively make an amplified version. The amplified versions are used in the exact same slots and sets as before. So here we have some examples. For example, the Fury gets +2 AP. The all hit power from the Firestone hit is going from 4 to 8. Monster additional attack power going from 3 to 5. Human race 4 to 6, so +2, pretty much on the different race specs. The all special attack goes from 0.5 to 1. The down attack, air attack, back, and crit all going from 1% to 1.5, so getting a 0.5% increase. Then we have attack speed and movement speed, crit potential all going up by 1. Critical hit chance is going up from 2 to 3, so +1%. Then we have the Edania attack power, +5 to 7, so again +2. Damage reduction crystals are going from +3 to +5. Evasion from 6 to 4. Monster damage reduction is going from 5 to 7. Monster reduction rate going from 1 to 1.5, so again the 0.5 present. The all resistance +1 is going to +2. The different specific resistances +2 to 4, so doubling. Same for the knockdown bound, up to +4. Maximum health is going up by 50. Maximum spirit or fighting spirit power going from plus 50 to plus 100. Maximum stamina getting a plus 25. Combat XP gain going from plus 25 to 50 per Lightstone. Skill XP 5 to 25. And maximum carry weight going from plus 20 to plus 30. Sadly, they didn't double this. But this might be worthwhile actually taking out on a few life skill sets just to get that bit of extra LT. And even when equipped, the Amplified Lightstone, the Lightstone combination will remain the same. It will just add the extra stats in the combined stats. You can also break these down. We do have the quantity of magical Lightstone crystals acquired being listed here, but to be honest, I think it's kind of foolish to melt these down when you use magical Lightstone crystals to make them. You're effectively destroying the crystallized auras and the magic fragments. Then we have magic crystals. These are the magic crystals that we also saw at the top in these zones. So we have the Origin Dark Crystal of Destruction, which is 100 fragments you can combine to get an Edania additional attack power plus 15 and reduced monster damage. The thing that is a bit interesting, this does seem to be a regular crystal. This will be a 1-of-1 crystal in your setup. And effectively you upgrade it by grinding each zone. Each zone gives the next higher up. The Dark Crystal of Ruin does not exist yet and will be obtained when Tenebar and Sephiroth's Castle are updated, and that will give a total of plus 60 Edania race attack power, plus a plus 20 monster damage reduction. That is quite beefy, going up from plus 15 all the way to plus 60. But then again, this is a single crystal that you can have. You will also need to get this yourself. These will not be registerable in the integrated exchange, so you need to grind these zones to get the pity pieces and effectively make the crystal to use. It does seem like this will be a destructible crystal because it is going a 1-of-1. Then we also have the different Kharazad crystals getting a buff. So here we can see if you again use the crystallized auras at the end with magic fragments and lightstones, you can upgrade any Jin crystal that you have into the next highest version. The Ole AP from the AP one is plus 7, plus 25 Black Spirit Rage, obtainable alone. That is, as far as I know, the same as it is now on a Jin. Then we also have the accuracy going minus 5 AP with all accuracy plus 60, maximum stamina plus 50. The DP one minus 25 sheet AP with plus 25 DP, plus 4 damage reduction, maximum health of 300. And then evasion, notation, attack power minus 25, evasion plus 25, all evasion plus 48, and maximum health plus 300. Here we can see again how they are registered. These will not be able to be registered on the market, so again, you need to grind these yourself. You will not be able to buy them. Here we can see the comparison between the two crystals. Actually, let's check the BSR. Damn, I can't actually read the percentage. But either way, if you heat these crystals, you will then get your crystallized auras of the end back, and also the Essence of Dawn equivalent. You do lose the extra stuff that you had to put in. Also, the evasion values of the Jin Bon Wan crystals on the evasion have been increased from plus 23 to 48, plus 20 to 35, and plus 17 to 27. That is quite interesting. Then we also have the Breathing Recording Crystal. This will be beneficial to life skill content. You need 100 Rosalka corals, sharp crystal shards, magic fragments, and 200 Lightstone crystals. The Rosalka coral requires you to defeat Rosalka stone crabs in the region and then mine them. You can then obtain this item by simple alchemying both the life crystals and the essence of recording, which is made up here, and you get a combined crystal which gives you plus 7 life XP and plus 15 mastery. So this will be an upgrade for those lovely crystal slots, opening some more up. Then we have elixirs, elixirs and perfumes. Probably a mistranslation. So first off, we have a Edania's elixir coming for Edania specific damage. This then transfers obviously into a elixir of harmony of Edania for the respective Edania damage. The Edania's Leap requires 2 Sinner's Blood, 4 Traces of Nature, Old Tree Bark, 4 Clear Liquid Reagents, and 6 Kaphras Tree Sap, which we'll see in just a tiny bit. The Kaphras Tree Sap actually we'll see it now, is done by collecting sap from the spirit-infused Kefris trees in the region, and also from some production bases. So effectively we have the Elixir of Edania, Elixir of Mighty Edania being added. Obviously we have the upgrade like we're used to with the blue liquid reagents, the Elixirs of Harmony being mixed into the upgraded versions. You can make these into Guru medicine boxes, but why would you? They're also adding the Fragrance of Longing and Fragrance of Perseverance, which saw these up at the bosses as a reward. These are effectively upgraded versions of the Courage and Deep Sea with improved stats. Again, you can make immortal versions of it. These will use Rizalka Coral, same ones for the upgrading of the crystals. So again, after defeating the Stoneback crabs, you can mine them. You can then create the Essence of Recording and also create Perfume. So when you set alchemy, when you have an alchemy of skill 1 or higher, you can place the alchemy tool, 5 traces of nature, 5 red tree knots, 5 clear liquid reagent, oil of corruption, and 30 Rizalka corals is a courage, and pretty much the same thing with pure powder reagent and a different oil is a deep sea. There is another version, so we have the Essence of Kharazhad. This item can be used to process existing perfume of Courage and Deep Sea into the Perfume of Desire and Perseverance, so this is an upgrade. You can get this from logging or tapping the trees, and you create this to upgrade them. It then takes 1 perfume, 3 glowing powders, I think it's the shining powder, plus 10 essences of Kharazhad. Essence of Kharazhad, so these. So you use 10 of these to upgrade 1 to 1 with the extra 3 shining powder. And then you have the same thing for the corrupted immortal oils being mentioned again. We do have some new integrated item prices. So here we can see the prices for the Harmony elixirs, the Edania's Leap, Perfume of Longing. So these will all be registerable. Then we have the different Lightstone effects, including the amplified Lightstones will be buyable. But to be honest, I doubt these will be available for a while. You can buy the Crystallized Ores of Dune. You can buy the Rizalka Coral. You can also buy the Essence of Kharazhad. And we also can buy the Leader's Decision and the Crystal of the Flawless Leader. So again, if we go up towards the top, we can buy the crystals that we need. Right, here we are. So we can buy the crystals that we need, but we won't be able to buy the crystal themselves. Then we have some new furniture coming. This is for the decorators. We have 20 pieces of furniture. The crafting will be done at the Revelation Base 2 in all Edania. So here we have some floor decorations, columnar, jointing floor, some more floor decorations, and wall decorations in different styles. Just check the stuff that you need. We also have some extra wall lamps being introduced, ancient Ator's hands, ancient relic altar. Then we have some sofas, tables, and wardrobes, some chandeliers and lights, a Hakinza bed, and a Hakinza temple chair. To be honest, a lot of these look really nice. I might actually decorate my manor in this style. Then we have the Edania lifestyle content. So there will be new nodes. The contribution required to get all the bases and houses is unified to 1. Then among the strongholds of Edania, there are House and All's Revelation and Shore Wreckage, where you can invest your contribution. This is All's Revelation 1 to 4 and Grace Eagle Outpost 1 to 2. These houses cannot be used as residence, but can be used as workers' quarters. We see, for example, Trace of Nature Blue Crystal, Green Crystal, Transparent Crystal, Earth Ore and Titanium Ore, Vanadium, Dark Powder, and Blue Crystal. Again, Vanadium, Powder, Time, Mud Crystal, Titanium, Earth, and Transparent, Vanadium, Time, and Red Crystal, Titanium, Time, Transparent again. And this is where it actually gets interesting. We have the other logs, Bloody Tree Knots, and Elder Sap. And in the Ancient Ruins, we have the Kharazhad Tree Log, Kharazhad Tree Sap, and Spirit Leaf. Or the same thing with Monk's Branch, depending on what your flavor is, or possibly both. Then we have some more Elder Tree Log nodes and some dried fish. Then we also have new fish species coming. We have some green grade fish. Then we also have some blue grade fish and yellow grades. The names will probably be adjusted a bit more. We also have 2 more red fish, one with 183,708,000 silver, another one with 144,342,000. With the addition of the new fish species, they will also be added into the weekly fishing competition. Here we have the full list, but again, we'll see. Obviously, if you get the highest, you will get a title. Then we have some Edania's collectibles. We have the effectively us. Effectively, we're being told we have the Kaffras trees, which is the logs, Kaffras logs, sap, and planks. Then we have the spirit-infused Kaffras trees, which give us the Kaffras essence. Ensla goats, which give sheepskin, meat, and as usual. Kaffras snakes, which is cobra blood and snake meat. Then we have the Rozalka coral from the stoneback crabs. And then we have some existing stuff. We have elder trees being introduced into the area, shrubs, wild herbs, bush, and rocks with vanadium and titanium ore. Effectively, we'll have to see the density of these. Then we finally get away from the Edania side, and we're going into the improvements for PvE performance on some classes. So we have the warrior, the damage of the following skills being adjusted. PvP will be adjusted in proportion to the damage adjustment range, so that PvP damage is the same. So here we see Gangta 3 going up in damage a tiny bit. Similar for forward swordsmanship. Spinning teaching going up to 9,411. That's a bigger jump. Most of these jumps are relatively small, but this should be nice for some adjustments. So we have Scars of Twilight going up to 5,647 and 7,060. Ground Slime going up to 9,097. Breaking the Ground going up to 6,901%. Splitting the Ground going up to 2,717 on max 2 hits, and then on the energy hit 2,717 as well. Supply and demand stabbing 3,586 and 6,276 on the 2 hits. Crushing 2,752 with the final hit 3,182. Shield strike going up to 2,783, 2,598, and 4,547. Not a big jump. Then we have the counterattack stance. Counterattack is going up to 4,857 on both cases. Then we have the Scorching going up 2,816%. Then we have the Sound of Resonance going up to 9,475. Mad Window also going up 1,584. 2,775 on the final hit. 2,863 and 7,874 on the Teaching Twilight. And then finally Teaching Counterattack 2,334 and 5,658. Tamer Awakening is getting a similar adjustment, so here we see Bicheon going up 4,165, Upward Strike damage being the same. The Rampage of the Divine Beast going up to 3,871, additional attack damage 3,871, with the flow damage going up to 4,516. 8-Way Chain Strike going up to 5,309, that is a slightly bigger jump, similar on the additional hit. Stepping on the Clouds going up very little to 5,665. Final hit going up by 100 something to 3,776, so very tiny change. 4 Directions God Stance is going up by around 400 to 4,486 from a single strike, and the other one also 4,486. Black Tortoise is going up to 8,077. Resonant Stab, very tiny increase to 5,028. Moonlight going up to 4,758. Flow Ascension 6,576, so a 400% increase roughly. Then we have a very tiny upgrade of 10% on the first hit on the Black Wolf Roar to 531. Then a almost similarly small upgrade, 6,086 on the second hit. Then we have Reaching for the Sky going up by 200-ish to 2,816, and 300 on the final hit to 5,632. Non-Stop going up from 97,097 to 10,777. Full Moon going up to 8,668. And then Master Strike going up to 4,038 from a single strike times 4. And on the Black Tortoise going up to 8,075. And then Tearing in the Clouds, 1 hit damage, 4,762, and max 2 hits. And final damage, we have 4,762. Guardian Succession getting some adjustments in a similar way, effectively breaking the gate, going up by around 700% to 7,557. Merciless Blow getting a 300% increase to 2,508. Crushing Limbs going up only 200-ish, 3,475 in the end. Almost Flame is going up 100 roughly, actually even less, 90, 1,710 on both hits. Then we have Almost Realm going up by 200-ish, 3,731. Similar thing, 100 on the Solo Execution to 3,481. Then we have the Testian Urin, 4,208 going to 4,452. Sorry. Then on the Awakening, we have the damage going up a bigger chunks. We have 2,000 Solsum Garum, 1,406, 14,692 from 12,600. Then we have Fierce Slash going up a 500% to 4,000 flat. Then we have Earth Strike going up another big chunk, 10,345 from 8,900. Amputation 7,700 roughly going to 8,975. Realm of the Black Blood going up from 8,850 to 10,237. Tearing of the Rocks 4,427 going up to 5,086. Black Blood Slaughter 7,829 going up to 8,951. Beast Hunt going up from 2007 to 2,275. Axe Throwing 2,330 going up to 2,668 to 2,668. Take Out Your Claws going up from 6,050 to 6,917. Snowstorm 1,659 going up to 1,867. And the oh, sorry, this was actually still transmission. Oh, that was still main. Oh god, that was still main skills. 3,083 to 3,490. So I'm sorry about that mess up. Now we get into Awakening Guardian. I'm going to be correcting that on the tags. The Awakening is going up not so much. So here we have the Glorious Celebration going from 4,643 to 4,863. The Teeth That Burn going up to 5,052 with a 200% increase on the fire damage and also on the final hit. Flow Ignorance going up to 9,609. The Light Contempt going up to 7,350 and on both hits. Then we have the Flame and Destruction going up to 6,745. Flow Exhaustion going up to 8,637. Flame of Purification going up to 11,583. Dragon's Maul going up to 14,953 as well. Accordingly, the flow damage applied to the Dragon's Maul skill, the damage of the Screaming Light is also increased. Footsteps of the Incarnation is going up to 1,847. Incarnation of the Cold, 6,370 up. 4,599 on Thorns of the Heat. God Skill is going up to 3,308. Snowstorm 1,777 from beating, and additional damage going up to 2,375. Small increase. Small increase on the Advance, Awakening Advanced. We have 2,757. 54. Then we have Black Spirit Flame Purification going up to 14,479. Black Spirit Flame Destruction going up to 8,993. And then the Black Spirit Thorns of Burning going up to 5,750. Oh, sorry about that mix-up. Sadly, Succession Drakania is getting skipped. We're only going Awakening Drakania. Heritage Screening going up to 5,119. That's a bigger jump. Then we have Calling going up a little bit to 3,515. Stab the Scale going up to 3,178 and 4,767. Sharp Proclamation going up to 2,983 and 4,970. Claws of the Spleen 9,687. A Grudge That Sickens the Soul, we have 6,156 as the new number, which is up. Same on the second hit and third hit going up to 5,131. End of Life going up to 7,507. Flow Purification going up to 10,086. The Roar That Splits the Earth is going up to 7,350. The Teaching Flame 5,591%. The Charge of Destruction going up to 3,252. The Spear That Pierces, 4,125 on the first two and 3,667 on the third. Storm Attack, 1,276, a very tiny increase. Bigger one is second hit damage, going up to 3,190. The Dragon Stab the Scale, going up to 8,479. Sharp Proclamation on the Dragon, 1,998 and 5,967. Soul Seal Grudge on the Dragon, going up to 2,689 and 4,931. Breaking the Clouds, 10,151. Storm Piercing Spear, 8,557. Earth Cutting Roar, going up to 9,648. Waving Tyranny, going up to 4,485. Guided Destruction, going up to 5,084. Dragon Tearing Flame, going up to 4,293. And the final four skills, we have the Dragon Charge of Destruction, going up to 8,262. Spear That Pierces Storm Black Spirit, going up to 6,416. Reverse to Scale Stab, Black Spirit going up to 14,132%. And then Black Spirit's Call going up to 2,636, up to 8 hits. The attack power on Awakening effect on the Sidekick technique has been transferred to the Passing Spirit. The Passing Spirit technique has been improved to smoothly link with left and right attacks during the next technique. The last hit of the Rising Moon skill, Harvest, Bloom, Flow, and the effect of the Sowing skills, Fresh Flower Exploding, has been transferred to the Flower Play skill. So Awakening Woosa is getting a slightly bigger rework. Again, PvP damage is supposed to be non-changed. A Passing Spirit is going up a tiny bit on the first hit to 1,580. Similar on the second and third, and then the final damage going up to 2,381. The Solid Flower effect is going up to 1,827. Song of the Moon going up a bigger chunk, 4,949. That's almost 800%. Then we have 700% on the second with 3,713. 4,948, 49% again, which is 300. And then almost 800%, which is 8,662 on the damage of the Heavenly Sword. The Descent of Sahi going up to 5,972, with a third hit damage going up to 6,868. Fall Down is going up a tiny bit to 4,455. The Solid Flower effect again going up to 1,827. Harvest is going up to 2,762. Here the Flower effect is going up to 3,005. And the Moon Rising Brightly, the hit damage is going up to 4,049. And the third hit to 5,062. Then we have Scholar. The is also being adjusted, so the Helmet Breaker is going up to 4,956. 2 Kicks, 5,802. Kick It, 6,325. Light Leap, 5,095. Gravity Core is going up to 2,823%. Click Up going up to 3,128 and 5,212. Gravitational Field going up to 6,498. Long Hit is going up to 13,777. God's Weight going up to 7,022. Jump and Take a Picture, 1,981% and 4,448 respectively. Then we have the Human Resource Generation. So accordingly, the damage of the Repulsion Generator and Gravity Bomb skill, which apply the damage of the Manpower Generator skill, will also increase. This is going up to 5,555. Potential Energy is going up to 7,438. Hammer Throw up to 6,481. Quick Dash 4,420. Gravity Control going to 5,373 on both. Internal hit damage on the Gravitational Refraction is going up to 9,063. Flow Golden Road going up to 1,974 and 8,225. Golden Barrier going up to 8,372. And the Golden Chain is going up to 5,223 on the first two hits and 14,096 on the final. The damage of the following skills is also being adjusted. So we have the Fusion Gravity Core going up to 5,889. Golden Trails going up to 9,778. Golden Vine 9,139. 8,403 on Golden Pillar. Breakthrough going up to 7,003, with the second hit going to 12,352. Uncontrollable Force going up to 10,715 before gathering, and when the gathering is complete, the hit damage is 15,067%. And then finally, we have 3,428% times 12 while gathering. Windmill Turning going up to 6,074 on the first two hits and 8,496 on the third. Thrilling Knock is going up to 5,808 with 9,154 on the third hit. Golden Barrier again, 9,579% up. Then we also have up on the Golden Thorn, 8,940. Anti-Gravity Jump going up to 7,946. Golden Wave going up to 7,710. Accelerator Rush going up to 3,542. Golden Bombardment going up to 9,651 in both cases. Black Spirit Windmill Turn going up to 6,074 for the first three hits and 8,496 on the fourth. Anti-Gravity Jump going up to 7,946. And Black Spirit Breakthrough going up to 7,003 and 17,297%. Dosa, we have the Succession going up to a tiny bit again, 3,683 on the Cloud General. And we have Cloud Surrounding going up to 6,126. Blind Slash going up to 6,630. Cumulus Clouds going up to 2,985. Uplift going up to 7,204. Double Crosscut going up to 5,563. Parting the Fog going up to 5,516 and 7,031. Winter Showers going up to 2,904 and 8,611. Summer Wind going up to 4,140 and 8,174 on the final hit. Take 4,125 is the new number with 10,990 on the second hit. 2,145 up to 7 hits, and then the second on the first hit damage, on the second 10,906. 3,416 on the first hit. 9,925 on the Spring Frost, and then the Four Seasons is going up to 2,549 and 11,068. Wukong also being adjusted, Get Out of My Way going up by a tiny bit to 4,488. I'll Beat You Up Good also going up a tiny bit to 5,551. Increase More, 6,758. The Buddha Stance version going up to 11,651. I'll Crush You is going up to 4,246, also tiny increase. Can't You Stand Up, 5,212, again in the Buddha going up to 8,018. Get Rid of the Lies, 8,040 instead of 7,683, and Buddha going up to 9,197. I'll Beat You Up for Nothing, 8,334 on the base. Then we have I'll Beat You Up for Nothing, more Buddha Stance, 9,667. All Explode is going up to 4,208 and 5,330. Get Longer is going up to 8,981. The Buddha Stance, 10,566 on that. I'll Burn Them All going up to 4,940 and 7,019. Buddha version again, 5,812 and 8,456. I'll give you a really good tip. It's going up to 13,390. Buddha version going up to 15,753. Then we have the Horribong of the Dosa Palace going up to 3,668. The Do You Think It Was All Over is going up to 8,039%. Buddha version going up to 10,578. One More Time going up to 6,192%. Fighting and Winning going up to 5,233. Delusion going up to 10,551, with the Buddha version going up all the way to 13,190. Clone hit damage also going up to 3,087%. Riot going up to 9,053. Buddha Stance version going up to 10,651 with clone hit again at the 3,087 mark. Bulgy going up to 7,400 on both. Then we have the Buddha version going up to 8,705. And then finally we have the Seal, which is 12,758 with clone hit damage of 3,087 again. Then we have general class modifications. Giants, the issue where a continuous jump would not be triggered intermittently when hitting while using a giant sleep has been alleviated. Kunoichi Black Spirit, they fixed an issue where enemies would pass by without colliding when using a Moon Slash. Dark Knight, they fixed an issue where Vidir's Pride effect was not applied when Vidir's Madness skill was linked after another. Also, an issue where Mark Explosion effect of the Arrogant Command skill would activate even if the opponent was not marked has been fixed. Dark Knight, they fixed an issue of the Arrogant Command effect was applied twice when using a skill Execution, Wheel of Fate, and Vidir's Madness. On Lan, there was an issue with the knockdown effect of additional hits not being applied when hitting the Ganshimu technique, while in the Blood Flow state has been fixed. Also, the sound of demonstrating video, the Black Spirit Unreturnable and Piercing Heart has been modified. And there was an issue of pulling or pushing other characters in PvP, which was not triggered for Valkyrie's Black Spirit Lightning Stab, Misting's Diamond Pearl, Dragon's Eye, and the Abyssal Bungchu, Nova's Star Ring of Stars and Black Spirit Songjung, and Corsair's Black Spirit Crow's Target. Then we have another thing, as the notated attack power is changed to 310 or higher, the monster additional attack power is obtained as a bonus, and with the new system, extra AP against monsters will now be added as a bonus when your displayed reaches 310 or higher. Because of this, the value of Black Distos, Vahas, and Debo earrings, and Kharazad earrings, which were previously all about boosting AP, has shifted, so they are moving this away. Effectively, Pen Debo earrings will go from plus 19 to plus 20. And the same thing goes for Kharazad. The moment you hit Hex, it goes from 17 to 18, and that plus 1 stays all the way to the end with a final of 22 AP. This is the other line that is also a little bit interesting. So the combat stats of items occupying the Pearl item slots do not apply to Edania content. This is what I mentioned all the way at the beginning of this long video. This will not work to cheese getting into the Edania fight. The only thing that will work is the crystals. Effectively, artifacts or crystals. Oh, sorry. Alchemy stones. Then we have monster zones. Orzekia Elvia, the location of monsters appearing in the locked room has been changed. The reappearance time of the monsters appeared in the locked room has been changed to be the same as outside. The method of entering the secret room has been changed from NPC dialogue to entering through a button, the same as the existing Marni secret room. It's also been changed so that the time is displayed after entering, and it's been changed so that it can only be used when the usage time is full. However, the time spent inside Orzekia's secret room will not be deducted from the available time. Marni's secret room UI has also been modified, so you can now enter the secret room and the Edania Marni, which is the one where you buy scrolls for. However, a special entry item is required to enter, so here we see the Blue Eve scroll, Nymphomara Castle scroll, and the Orbita Castle scroll. In Ataraxian, it has been changed so that you also cannot use the daggers that do not correspond to the difficulty level, so normal and Elvia. Quest and Knowledge. During the quest Great Step, the amount of health restored naturally every 2 seconds has increased by 100% compared to before. Then we also have the if you have not completed or are in the middle of the Ataraxian Castle of the Rough Waves, a dialogue button has been added to return to Seeker's Watch through the Soul Magia. The name of the tailored journal has been changed to Adventure Journals, so that icon will also be changed. Then we have note in Conquest Wars. The health and defense of fortresses and in the construction occupation have been adjusted. So we have the Stronghold Citadel, the defense has been increased by approximately 11%. The Annex Building, the defense of auxiliary buildings, excluding the Flag of the Undefeated, has been increased by 15%. The Flag of Invincibility, the Vitality has been increased by 33% and the defense by 11%. That is occupation type based warfare. Then we have the occupation type based warfare, which is stage 2 Medalla and Valencia. Stronghold has been increased by 8.7%. Auxiliary buildings have been increased by 11%, and the defense of the Flag of Invincibility by 10%. Then in Unlimited, Calphion and Camisovia, Stronghold Citadel has been increased by 8.3% again. The defense of auxiliary buildings, excluding the Flag of the Undefeated, has been increased by 10%. Flag of Invincibility by 9%. Then we have the Stage 2 Medalla and Valencia Stronghold Citadel being increased by 8.7%. Annex buildings, again, 11%. Barricades, iron barricades, flimsy barricades, and wooden gates, the defense have been increased by 9% in the construction mode. Then we also have Instruction Mode Unlimited. The defense of the stronghold being 7,000.35, sorry. Way too many skill numbers. Annex buildings is increased by 10%, and then finally the barricades, wooden gates and such has been increased by 8.3. UI changes. An event integration UI has been added to allow you to check events in a single pop-up window. This can be reached through the menu rewards, and you can check basic reward item information for the event. You can also check by opening a specific UI or going directly to an NPC. You can also go to the event's details page by clicking the magnifying glass button in the upper right corner. And if there are less than 5 days left until the end of an event, an icon indicating that the event is about to end will be displayed in the list. System. With the addition of the Edania region, pathfinding has been changed to be possible in some adjacent Lost Sea areas. And then finally, we have fixes and changes. So an issue with the boarding registration command was incorrectly displayed on the map and ship registration has been corrected. Then an issue with the Queen Sarari would not precede the Ulukita, reclaiming the Kingdom of Dai, has been fixed. The issue where Krokdala would appear as Dina after using certain skills such as front kicks and rear kicks, even in non-desert areas, has been fixed. Krokdala's instant acceleration or kite, they fixed an issue where the wings would disappear when stopping suddenly. They also fixed an issue where Ardenat's appearance would appear when suddenly stopping while sprinting. An issue where the appearance of Ardenat's wings would not disappear until the end of the instantaneous acceleration when landing and holding down the F key has been fixed. Fixed an issue where Krokdala would use Kick of Fire after using Drift on deserts or water. They also fixed an issue where Krokdala would become unable to move in the Cliff's waterfall area. They also fixed an issue where the Doom effect would appear on Ardenat's appearance when Krokdala used Powerful Leap skill. The phrase additional damage in the ability limit description world map stronghold battle view has been changed to additional attack power. An issue where tribute wagons could not be hit has been fixed. Also an issue where you would become unable to control the player when attempting to interact with them in the party while completing the final Gladius has been fixed. On Megu, some awkward position effects when equipping Arsha's Proof title has been fixed. And they fixed an issue where the red crosshair would activate while attempting to capture a horse while climbing terrain or sprinting at a distance where the horse could not be captured. TLDR of the global, overall, okay, Node War, they're buffing up the defense a little bit to match the increases. Then we see the Kharazads. This is effectively making it a bit more viable to stick to these. The damage adjustments are hitting quite a few classes. Overall, they do say they want to avoid the PvP damage increasing. I do believe them, but let's hope they manage. Overall, the life skill for Edania looks hopeful. Definitely some money to be made in the region as it comes out. The decorations are really nice. The amplified Lightstones, definitely worth it. Just a tiny bit increase across the board. Maybe even for life skillers with the fact that we have the bonuses on the Lightstones being adjusted even for the feather. The unified life skill, this is the best thing. The fact that I can unify them, absolutely awesome. Otherwise, really great upgrades on the crystals. I like the fact that you need to grind some of these yourself. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, Sovereign Offhand, we were expecting it, we already knew the details. The fact that the Twilight Jewel is needed in both the Primal and the Non-Primal, or Method 3 in 1, very nice. The new crystals, these are absolutely awesome. I will definitely be trying to pre-order these over grabbing the crons and rather investing the crons into other things. This is definitely a really nice thing. Finally, I mean, obviously the Edana Armors. I do feel a little bit sad that they're increasing the amount of taps per week if you effectively defeat the higher tier castles. That does feel a little bit of a cop-out from PA about the, well, time-gated, because obviously only the highest people will be able to actually go to the Orbita, and the fact that they will get 3 taps a week is quite a lot. But, I mean, overall, they did grind the gear prior, but hey, it's a little bit of a downside. Then again, they do need 385 and 445 to even be able to participate. And with that, we have the patch notes done. If you like this, I know it's a long one. If you can give it a thumbs up, it would be appreciated. The YouTube is being a bit iffy with the views, so if you do that, it helps actually count you as a viewer. I do hope it helps you, and I hope you have a good time and good luck with your BDO tabs.